Alright, here's part 2 of the Xbox collection. And in this part we are covering all the games. So let's go ahead and start with the stack. First game is Blinx the Time Sweeper. Really interesting game. Just pretty much going through each level, trying to collect stuff, kill bosses. At the time it was really fun. And then it got really stupid when they had Blinx 2, Masters of Time and Space, and you had to do like team-based missions. Kind of took away from it. But it was still worth playing at the time. Kept me busy on a couple of trips. Then, one of my most favorite racing games ever. It seems like I say that a lot, but whatever. Here's Burnout Revenge. And this game was so good in my opinion that I actually bought it again when the 360 came out. So I have a copy for the old and new generation. That's how great of a game it was, and I loved playing it online so much. Alright, and coming up next we have Dead or Alive 1 and 2, also known as Dead or Alive Ultimate. Nice little set. I think it was only like 20 or 30 bucks by the time I bought my Xbox. Kind of a big difference after playing 3 for so long, but once I picked this up it was really fun to play, and you could actually play this online against people, unlike Dead or Alive 3, which is the next game, which also has my favorite character on the cover. But anyway, it's Dead or Alive 3. Really fun, but doesn't quite compare to Dead or Alive 4. However, nice little story to go along with it and everything, and added features like being able to change the name on your Xbox console. And next up we have Doom 3, the Collector's Edition. And I gotta say, at this time I was still... well, I still get scared now, but I was fearful of first-person shooters. For some reason I let them get to me a little too much. But this game was really fun to play online with my friend Derek, going through co-op. Gotta say, probably... jeez, the most freaking suicide bomber jokes ever, since you could just respawn from a teammate. You could have a teammate stand like, I don't know, 10 feet back on the other side of a wall so enemies wouldn't attack them. You just pull out a grenade, pull the pin, and just run into a room full of enemies holding it and blow yourself up, screaming at the top of your lungs. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And then we had the expansion to it, Resurrection of Evil. Not nearly as good as it was on PC, but it was here. Fun to play still. Then we have the original Fable. Honestly, haven't really played this, just kind of picked it up to have in the collection since I came across a copy of it. Then we have, in my opinion, one of the best racing series ever now, Forza Motorsport. Forza Motorsport 2 definitely lived up and beat the hell out of Gran Turismo, in my opinion. This game beat the hell out of Gran Turismo, since at the time when I first got this I was still technically a PS2 fanboy. Yeah, Gran Turismo sucked compared to this. I never got the sense of speed or the enjoyment out of that game. Then, since I'm Guilty Gear fan, here's Guilty Gear X2 Reload. Awesome game. Obviously my favorite characters to use were Dizzy and Testament. Really, really love these fighting games, just because, I don't know, it's just a great 2D fighter. Excellent controls, well-balanced characters, lots of combos and shit to master. And the fact that everything in the game is kind of loosely based off of music in some way. Definitely a big selling point. Then next up we have the original Halo, the game that actually sold me on getting an Xbox. A little backstory to that: I was playing it with some friends. This isn't going to sound that great, but whatever. They shot a rocket at me after being launched into the air somehow from doing the little tank flips. And we were on Blood Gulch, and when they shot a rocket at me, I was just kind of looking around admiring the level from the other side. and the angle that it was at, it actually looked like an eclipse was going on with the sun. So while I'm sitting there staring at it, the rocket's getting closer and blew me up. And yeah, from that point on, I decided Halo was fucking awesome, and I've loved it ever since. And before I continue on with the stack, here's another copy of Halo. Blue Starry Eyes and I have actually found a sealed copy of it, and since sealed copies sell for a lot later on for collectors, we decided why not go ahead and pick it up now. Kind of a little investment thing. And next up we have the Halo 2 Limited Collector's Edition. The game that essentially carried Xbox Live. I don't really have to go too far into that, but just gotta leave it at that. And then, before you could really... well, you could buy them online, but this is just nice to pick up a physical copy of the multiplayer map pack. Also came with the little sound test using the Grunt and the Brute. Or no, did it have a Brute in it? God, it's been so long. I think there was a Grunt. Well, I know there was a Grunt. I can't remember who else they used in it. It was a nice way to test out your surround sound. I know there's probably going to be people commenting on that saying exactly what it is, but it's been years, so. Then we have Juiced, the easiest game to cheat on. Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, already covered that in PS2. Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2. Awesome that you could play your own music on there. Awesome game in general. I'm really glad that they've rebooted the Hot Pursuit series now using the Burnout guys. NFL Fever. Ninja Gaiden Black. A game to essentially get your ass kicked in a billion fucking times. Kind of like Ninja Gaiden 2. And we have a cheap little game. Outlaw Volleyball Red Hot. Essentially a little blockbuster giveaway. Short game, but whatever. Next up, Panzer Dragoon Orta. I really love the original Panzer Dragoon, and this one was just fun as hell to go around and play. I'm not going to say anything. This is when I've become disappointed with fishing games entirely. Sega GT 2002. When I got my Xbox, so this was obviously old, which is why it's in a pack with Jet Set Radio Future. Awesome game. Game that killed time, at least. We have Shadow the Hedgehog. Huge Sonic fan. Not so much of this game, though. I think they were trying to make it too big of a thing. But it was cool having the different story arcs and trees and... I don't know what the hell I'm trying to say there. There were multiple paths in the game. There we go. Then my old school had not only Marvel vs. Capcom 2 in their little arcade, but we also had SVC Chaos. And after playing it there so many times, I decided I had to pick it up, and I always put in the code to use 0 and kick some fucking ass. Spider-Man, free game I got with it. Once again, time killer. Spy vs. Spy. I grew up watching Mad TV and reading Mad magazines, and Spy vs. Spy has always been fucking hilarious to me. Love it on the Game Boy and Game Boy Color. Loved playing it on Nintendo at my friend Anthony's house. And this was like an online version where you just beat the hell out of everybody in the game, setting traps and trying to collect everything. And then finally, Tron 2.0 Killer App. Yeah, obviously not the true sequel. This game was a flop, but at the time it was fun. However, nobody played this game online at all. Got it when it first came out, and I was never able to get a match with anybody. But there you have it. There's my Xbox collection. Hope everybody enjoyed it. Tune in next week for the... what are we gonna do? I believe it's the PSP. If it's not, I'll get back to everybody. But, thanks for watching, everybody. Later.